Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. It's Brittany, your friendly plant-loving internet stranger, back with another video. Happy Thanksgiving. I am cooking right now. I'm actually in the middle of preparing my dessert and my meal. I'm going to start cooking in a minute. I prepped most of my stuff yesterday and I'm going to assemble it all today. So I'm about to put my dessert in the oven. I'm making a honey nut squash roll. I got this squash from the farmer's market a couple weeks ago, maybe last week. No, I didn't go last week. A couple weeks ago I got this honey nut squash, and last year I got a honey nut squash and I put it in a bread, like a spice bread, and that was really good. So I'm doing this recipe this year. It's sort of like a pumpkin roll, but instead of pumpkin I'm using the squash, kind of like a spice cake. To assemble it, I'll put like a cream cheese frosting on top and then roll it up and then slice it, and it'll be like a really pretty roll. So I'm excited for that. And then for my main course, I'm making short ribs, red wine braised short ribs, and garlic mashed potatoes, and I have some greens that I've already prepared. And yeah, let me show you what the first part, like the cake part of the roll, is looking like before I put it in the oven, and then I'll show you once I take it out. So here's the roll. It actually called for a 10 by 12 pan, or maybe 10 by 15. All of my pans are pretty large, so I made this little barrier with some aluminum foil. I really only need to take off like an inch, so not too bad. And it's spread a little bit, which is what I want. I'm going to put it in the oven now for about 10 minutes. And because I am using a larger pan, I'm cooking it 10 minutes because the recipe calls for 12 to 15 minutes, but my pan is much larger, so it's going to cook a little bit faster. So I'll be keeping an eye on it. But this is how it's looking beforehand. A couple lumps. If you see lumps, those are likely the squash. I didn't like beat it till it was very smooth, but it's smooth enough. Okay, so I was really looking out for myself. Past Brittany was looking out for future Brittany. Last night, I put all of my ingredients, like I separated all of my ingredients out so I wouldn't have to do the measuring today. So I had all of my dry ingredients for the cake in a bowl, and all I had to do was like add eggs to it and mix it up, and add the squash and mix it up. I put my ingredients, so this is sugar. This was really just powdered sugar. This is going to be for my filling. I left the cream cheese out and the butter to soften. I had my eggs all out so they could get room temperature as well. And then I just added, you see that little brown in there in the middle, I just added vanilla extract to that. Now, knowing me, I would try to mix up this stuff in this bowl. This is a really small bowl. This is a pretty small bowl. I would try to mix this up, but it's going to get everywhere because I'm going to use my electric hand mixer. So I'm going to put it in this large metal bowl. So I'm just going to add that sugar, and then I'm going to add the cream cheese and the butter, and I'm going to mix it all up. But that little hack was really helpful. I'm so glad I did that. I saw somebody else on social media like separated all of her dry ingredients out and like everything for her meals, like what she was preparing, and that really helped a lot. I actually did this for my short ribs as well. For the stuff that I could prep, like I have the meat sitting in some water right now in a bowl in the refrigerator, and have like vinegar in there with it to clean it and to like kind of tenderize the meat, which it's going to be braised, so it's going to be tender when it's time to eat it anyway. I chopped up all of my veggies. I have like all of my carrots, celery, and onion chopped up. I minced my garlic. The only thing I didn't prep is the potatoes for the mashed potatoes, because I'm using russet potatoes, and like soon as you peel potatoes, they'll start oxidizing, and I didn't want them to be all ugly and brown today. So I'm gonna cook those. Those will probably be like the last thing I cook. And then I also have this box of cornbread mix that I got from Trader Joe's. I don't usually make cornbread, but I saw it and I was like, why not? So yeah, let me get this frosting mixed up. I'm drinking decaf Folgers. I really should have drank my water first. Okay, here is the cake. It is done. I cooked it for about 14 minutes. It's nice and golden. The little light spots you see again are like pieces of squash. I know this little piece right here, when I peeled the squash, I didn't peel it I probably could have peeled it a little bit better. And so I think that's like a piece of the inner skin, because it was like a light shade of orange, and then once I cut it I saw like the really deep orange inside. But whatever, it's gonna get ate. I'm gonna roll it up in there, and I'm probably not gonna be able to tell once I roll it up and put that frosting on there, so it's fine. But it looks really pretty. I didn't have ground ginger, so I had minced ginger, like dried minced ginger, and I tried to grind it up as best I could with my little mortar, what's this thing called on the corner over there, with that. So it might also be little flecks of like actual ginger in it as well, which I won't have a problem with. I know what it is. I'm going to eat it. And I added a little bit of turmeric, and I added something else. Maybe it was just turmeric, but I just wanted it to be spicier, and I got all this turmeric that I need to use, so that's that. Like ground turmeric, I use that in addition to like ground cinnamon and nutmeg, and it called for ground ginger, but again I didn't have that. So yeah, it looks really pretty. I'm gonna let it cool. I'm gonna put it to the side so it can cool, and then I'm gonna get started on my short ribs. To get started on my short ribs, but I wanted to show y'all this mug that I made. I made this. Look at how cute this is. It's really hot. Let me not spill it. Look at this braided handle. How cute. Ooh. It looks so dreary. The light looks ashy and gray today, but you know, it is what it is. So first thing I'm gonna do is get this. I have six-ish sprigs of thyme in here, and 3 sprigs of rosemary. The rosemary is from my garden. I got this yesterday. I was thinking when I picked it out the garden yesterday, I was like, it's been a pajama all day week for me, and I had laid out like cooking pajamas today, but they were too hot. So I had to put some regular old stuff on, and when I put my Christmas tree up later, I'll switch over to my festive PJs. But for right now, I got my cooking clothes on. Anyway, I'm making this pie situation. I don't know what to call this. Herb bundle to put in my pot so that I can just pick it out. It's supposed to like sit in between the short ribs while I cook them. So again, this is like thyme and rosemary. I'm also gonna put bay leaves. The recipe I'm using called for fresh bay leaves. I've never seen fresh bay leaves. Maybe I'll look for some when I go to the farmer's market the next time. I'm just gonna use dried bay leaves. So here is my herb bundle, but I had all of this stuff ready to go. I just didn't tie it up because I didn't want it to start getting moldy and stuff, because I washed it. Although I did wash it and dry it, I just wanted to tie it up this morning. So I'm gonna put this here for a second. I got my minced garlic. The reason I didn't put the minced garlic in with my, is this mirepoix? I think so. Celery, carrots, and onion. I didn't put this in here with this because I'm supposed to cook this first and cook this for longer than the garlic needs to be cooked, and I didn't want to do all of that. So that's that. My meat is still right here. I'm about to drain it in a minute. I'm gonna get my little 3 tablespoons of flour because I need that to make the roux. I also have a bottle of Josh Cab Sauvignon. I used to love this. I don't drink alcohol anymore, but when I did, this was one of my favorites. And one of the grocery stores near me, they sell these little cute individual size bottle, so I would just stick a straw right in it. Just kidding, I don't do that. I had a bottle in my basement though, since I put all of the alcohol and wine and stuff I had in the basement. So I'm gonna use this. This is a small bottle if you can't tell. I'm also gonna use Dijon mustard. I need tomato paste here. I prefer to get the tomato paste in the tube because it's just easier to store. Although I do have tomato paste that's in a can. The recipe also called for beef broth, but I have like 14 cartons of chicken stock because I always get them when I go to Costco and I like to keep them on hand. So I'm gonna use that instead. Hi, honey. What you mean, boo? Hi. You okay? You hungry? What you need? You need something? My baby needs something. I think she might be hungry. I only give my cat half a can of food because she wastes it, and in this economy we not wasting no cat food because her cat food is expensive. She eats wet food. So let me get her some food and then I'll get back. Okay, so I went ahead and put my mic on because there's a little bit of extra noise in my kitchen right now. I got the fan on and I have my dishwasher going. If I know I'm going to be doing a lot of cooking, I make sure that my dishwasher is empty so that as I'm dirtying dishes and all of that, I just put them right into the dishwasher. This meal is going to take like 3.5 to 4 hours to cook in the oven. I just put it in. But right now I'm about to assemble my dessert because the cake portion has cooled off and I have my frosting all prepared. All right. Deep brown. I already felt a little crease here, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a perfect roll. Oh, it's broken. Shoot. It cracked. I'm just gonna go with the crack and just roll it. We go. There we go.